Well, I'm live, and I pushed the mute button as the first thing that I do when I went live. That's no good. What's happening, beautiful humans? It's 5:19, and we are a little bit late, and I appreciate your patience. It has been one nonstop moment after another. It's very, very good to be back in this home studio. I missed you last week. I tried to go live from my hotel room. Just some things you can't do on the road. We try and be as productive as we possibly can while we're on the road. And I wasn't that productive. A shout out to all of the new inHarmony technology owners. There are many of you. We had an incredible week. We were all over the place. I was all over the place. I was in 3 different states, speaking, traveling, supporting 4 states if you include Florida, and what NOA was doing, and Pavel and his team at the Biohacking Conference. It has been absolutely fantastic. So many of our affiliates were activated and out at various events. It was so great to drop in and see so many of you. It's also really good to be home. It's really good to be focused and back in the driver's seat, getting caught up and digging out, which you're going to hear about here in just a couple. Here's the latest. Here's what's happening. As always, thank you for being here. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for tagging. Thank you for getting this in front of somebody that needs to hear it. My name is Craig Goldberg. I think it's over here. I'm one of the co-founders here at inHarmony. I'm also the president. I run day-to-day operations along with an incredible team of human beings. We bring you inHarmony Interactive, inHarmony Media, of course, our technology and our music. And I got a bunch to cover today. I'm just getting caught up. I am buried right now, and I appreciate your patience. If you've been trying to get in touch with me, I appreciate your patience. It's been nonstop from the moment I sit down at this desk at 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning until now. I'm actually going to leave here and pick up my daughter here in just a couple minutes. We are chipping away at our inventory. New orders are already on the way. I've got some exciting stuff happening on that front as well. We've got 47 sound lounges left, 19 practitioners. We still have over 100 black meditation cushions, and we're down to 66 beige meditation cushions. That's really exciting. We've got lots of new owners. Many of you are enjoying our tech for the first time. And if you've got questions, I've got answers. As always, you can call us right here in the office anytime. We put our phone number right on the website, and there it is. You can ring me day or night. That rings this spectacular phone right here among a handful of others, but I'm usually the one who answers it. Day or night, weekday or weekend, I want to talk with you. So many of you compliment us on our customer service, and it's something we really take a lot of pride and joy in. Kate is calling me right now, even though she knows I'm live, because she's usually listening as we speak. Very, very entertaining, but nonetheless. Hi, Kate. I love you. I'll call you back as soon as I can. If email is better for you, you can email support@IamInHarmony.com. And I'll leave that up for a little while. Also, you can always pause this video once you're watching the recording, and you can jot that down. New inventory is going out, and we are grateful. Inventory levels look really solid for the next couple of months, which is good because we do have additional orders that are coming. We got a lot of new ideas. Anytime I go to events, anytime I'm connecting with people out there, we always find ways that we can innovate. And this was one of those trips for me. It was a lot of solitude and a lot of drive time, which I'm going to talk about here in a couple minutes. It was just really, really awesome. I do want to let you know that our cash flow has been tight. We've been investing in inventory. We just did our last round of 100 sound lounges and 45 practitioners. We're now investing in our next order of 250 sound lounges and what's looking like to be 100 practitioners. So what that means is that our cash flow is really tight right now. So I appreciate all of your payments. Our AP, we're getting to it every week. We're chipping away at it. We have had to make some major payments, some major outliers of cash or outlays of cash. And I appreciate your patience. There are a few of you that are waiting for checks for some time. Reach out to me if you have any questions. I'm always an open book. Our cash flow has absolutely been impacted the last couple of weeks. And it looks like over the next 2 weeks, we're going to get caught up and ahead once again, which is very exciting. So thank you all for your patience on that front. I had 3 events over the last 10 days, not even. Last Saturday, a week ago, this past Saturday, I spoke at Radiance Festival right here in Las Vegas at Area 15. Area 15 is someplace that is near and dear to me. And this event was awesome. It was a ton of work. An absolute shout out to the team. We did some lives. We got some stuff up on our social media, which is awesome. I was pretty proud of myself for doing that. Raquel Figlo, our publicist, was also there. She was taking video and getting things up. I had an hour-long talk. It was 30 minutes on the science of mindfulness, 30 minutes in a live guided music meditation. Music made none other by the very spectacular Anthony Weiss. It was awesome. I got a recording of it. It's 55 minutes long. I missed the closing, but we are going to put that up on YouTube this week. I'll put a link out on our socials. We'll make sure we get some excerpts out of it as well. It went really, really well. We got amazing feedback from a packed house that was in attendance. Got to drop in with Darren Waller and the very spectacular Donnie Starkins right before that because they were doing comeback stories right before me. So we got some pictures. I got to catch up and drop in. They're both huge supporters of our technology. Saturday was a whirlwind. That entire event from 8 in the morning until midnight was nonstop, unbelievable interactions, and really just heartfelt gratitude to the team that put that together, to the other vendors that were there. It's not easy to set up for a one-day event. It's not easy to set up for a one-day event that was from 8 in the morning until midnight, and everybody absolutely rocked it. So a huge shout out to everybody that was there. We broke down that at midnight. We got home around 1:30, put everything away, slept, and then the next morning, Raquel was flying off back to Southern California, and I was hopping in a car driving to Denver for the Psychedelic Science Conference on Father's Day, no less. It was a massive day. That's about a 12-hour drive. It took quite a long time for me to get up there. And you know what? I really love the peace and quiet. I love the solitude of that drive. It was something that I really needed after a very hectic few weeks leading up to Radiance Festival. And then, of course, gearing up for Psychedelic Science Conference, along with SoundSelf and Entheo Digital. SoundSelf, for those of you that are not familiar with SoundSelf, I recorded a 30-minute live with none other than Lyle Maxon, one of their co-founders, and I spent an entire week with them at Psychedelic Science. For those of you that are not familiar, SoundSelf is a biofeedback experience driven by your voice, utilizing the inHarmony Sound Lounge or the inHarmony practitioner, along with Casina glasses. Their software is turnkey, and it is awesome. You are basically laying in a field of your own voice for 20, 30, 40, or 60 minutes. It goes really well with psychedelic therapy, which is why we were there. It enhances the power and the efficacy of the psychedelics that you're using, or you can use it without psychedelics, and you can actually get the same results that you would get if you were using psychedelics. They're focused on science and research. Their chief science officer is absolutely incredible. Their co-founders, Robin and Lyle, are two of my nearest and dearest friends. Gang, there were 5 vibroacoustic companies at Psychedelic Science. 5 vibroacoustic companies at Psychedelic Science. I don't think any of them are positioned like we are. I don't think any of them are going after the marketplace like we are. It was actually really refreshing to connect, meet, mix, and mingle with the CEOs and co-founders of these other companies to talk about what's happening, to talk about what's going on in our industry. And they all knew who we were. They all knew what was happening, and they were all aware of our presence, of our growth, and of what they're doing. It felt really, really good. So Psychedelic Science, a ton of follow-up, a ton to do from that, not just myself, but obviously SoundSelf does as well. If you found us there, thank you. I'm grateful that you're with us. I'm grateful that you're following and you found us here on YouTube and Facebook. And I greatly appreciate you being along for the journey. I know a lot of SoundSelfs went out, and I know a lot of practitioners and sound loungers are going to go out along with them. It's really, really, really exciting on that front. At the same time the Psychedelic Science Conference was happening in Denver, so too was the Biohacking Conference in Orlando, and a lot of folks were there. I was getting text messages from people all throughout the 3-day event that was happening down there. And a huge shout out to Pavel and his team, NOA. They were doing a breathwork activation. They had 2 meditation cushions on display in their booth. They sold through a bunch of inventory on the meditation cushions, and then they also sold the 2 the 2 cushions that were there. So really exciting what's happening. Another application just to show you what is possible when you incorporate and stack our technology with breathwork, with great music, with an incredible experience. And I was getting text messages from Heather and their team the entire time, lots of questions, and of course, a lot of new customers that were in on the way. So a huge shout out to the team that was there. A number of our affiliates were walking that event. A number of our affiliates were talking about what was happening at the Biohacking Conference. It was a really good toss up between what ultimately was a 5-day event in Denver versus the 3-day event that was in Orlando. I wish I could be in multiple places. I still don't have a private jet. I don't know that I ever will, but we'll see. We'll see what the future holds. So many friends and family at both events. It was really enriching. Shout out to Dr. James Leatham. Shout out to Juan Agus, ketamine therapy doctor down in Tampa, Florida, that found me on day one and was staying at the same hotel. Shout out to so many people that stopped me literally in the streets and at different events to be like, "You're Craig from inHarmony. I have your technology. Thank you so much for what you're doing." We have a huge presence in the world of psychedelic therapy. It is something that is near and dear to my heart. That's a big thanks and a big shout out to SoundSelf, and of course to so many of you that are using psychedelics and focused on psychedelic therapy and using vibroacoustic therapy along with psychedelics. It's something that's near and dear to my heart and has been for a very, very long time. So thank you. Huge shout out to everybody that made these events happen. It's not easy to do events. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of effort, a lot of strength and resilience to do these events. Physical events are very demanding and also very fulfilling. So thank you to each and every human being that kept inHarmony alive and well at these different events and kept us going. I feel your strength. I feel that you are rejuvenating and resting right now. I know I am still recuperating. My daughter had me up from 3 to 5, from 4 to 5. My wife was up from 3 to 4. So I've had a couple sleepless nights in addition to some really great catch-up sleep as well. We got a lot of great things going on. New music. Ocean Dreams came out and is live in the app. And then Releasing Trauma is also live in the app. I spoke with Anthony today. We are going to be releasing 22-minute versions of all of these tracks and 11-minute versions of all of these tracks because so many of our therapists are using in clinic, and these longer tracks are not necessarily helpful because you're stopping in the middle of the track. So we are working back through the catalog. All of these tracks that are longer are going to have 22-minute versions and 11-minute versions. And we're going to get back onto that cadence of releasing a longer track as well as a couple of shorter tracks. We have the next track that's being worked on is absolutely phenomenal. It's going to be 45 minutes long, and it's going to be healing ancestral trauma. Guys, the things that are coming out right now is just absolutely phenomenal. Anthony, a huge shout out to you. I love it when we were able to connect. I love it when we're able to drop in. We connect every week, by the way, multiple times a week. But I love our drop-ins because I love to hear what's coming up next. We've got some forgiveness tracks that are coming down the road. There's just a lot of really exciting content that we are going to continue to release. So thank you, each and every one of you, for contributing $8 a month. Many of you are grandfathered in, but some of you, and of course, moving forward, you're paying $8 a month. That contribution is going towards new music. You are responsible for bringing new music and new features into the app as well. So keep an eye out. Continue to support. We are grateful for that support. We will continue going to work for you week in and week out. And by the way, if you have questions, if you have ideas, if you'd like to see something, if you have feedback for us, the best place to drop that feedback is going to be in our Telegram chat, whether our user group or our affiliate chat. Anthony and our entire team is in there monitoring it in real time. It is the best place to share information on what we've got going on. So lots of really good stuff coming down the pike from a music perspective, and we're really still getting warmed up. Social media growth has been exponential on the Instagram side, and specifically now we're starting to put a lot more time and attention on TikTok. Huge shout out to Andrew, Rachel, Raquel, the entire team, Sergio, that helps us to get our videos out. You see the professional videos that we have shot and that we're editing right now. It's really something spectacular that's happening on that front, and I'm eternally grateful for that. Nick Glazer was just calling me from David Meltzer's team. It's June 27th. On June 30th, I think season 4 of David Meltzer's Office Hours is coming out. August 4th, I believe, is our show. I don't exactly know if that date is 100% correct, but you can look to our social media to see exactly when that will be dropping on Apple TV, Roku, and a bunch of other networks as well. So look for David Meltzer's Office Hours as something that's going to be dropped. I am behind on comments. I am the one that comments and messages on Instagram, TikTok, and of course, YouTube, Facebook. All of those comments is me. And I usually do a pretty good job of staying up on it every day. I am behind. A lot of time behind the wheel, a lot of time driving, and just not a lot of time for me to stay up to date. Same goes with my email inbox, 481 unread emails. I do a really good job of keeping my subscriptions lean and mean. That's 481 emails that need my attention. So again, thank you for your patience. If you've been trying to get in touch with me, send me a text message, get in touch with me. I got some follow-ups I need to do there too, because I met so many incredible human beings over the last 10 days. I got a lot of follow-up to do. So this week is all about follow-up and catch up. And I sincerely thank you for your patience in that. Looking ahead, I might be moving in the next 60 days. So I'm working on that, 45 days actually. So I'm working on where my family is going to live. I hope we can stay in this house. We might move to a new house. Anyway, there's a bunch that's happening on that front. I am planted in Las Vegas for the next at least 45 to 60 days while I get settled. That includes Burning Man. No Burning Man for me this year. That's going to make a lot of you very sad. It makes me very sad, but this is just not the year for it. Too much in flux, too much happening. I am super grateful for each and every one of you. Thank you for following along. Thank you for tagging. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for referring people to what we're doing. We've been growing very well, very steadily, and I appreciate you. Thanks for checking in. Thanks for keeping an eye on what we're doing. I hope you have a spectacular day. Bye-bye.